I'm a massive fan of Dedo lighting, and I'm here with the man himself, Dedo. So, Dedo, hello. Can you talk me through any new developments that you're introducing in this year's show?
I would say that in the world of reflected light, we're the only ones that have a absolutely complete system. Not only the 5 different reflector surfaces, not only the 5 different sizes, we also have the potential to have all of the reflectors motorized. There are different ways of controlling it, either with a very simple hand control or DMX, controlling 6 reflectors at the same time. Then we have also the lights, starting with the parallel beam lights, which have a particular property in as much as the light does not derive from the light fixture itself, but from a virtual light source about 60 feet, 20 meters behind the light, which is of importance in many different directions. If you are normally the slave of the square law, you come closer to the light or you move away from it, double the distance, quarter of the light. Here, seemingly, that does not apply. At 5-meter distance with this one, we have 112,000 lux.
This is with the PB70?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At double the distance, at 10 meters, we have not 27,000 as the square law would demand, but we have 68,000. We create something that I call infinity lighting, where create the illusion of natural light, sunlight deriving from far away, without any reflector yet installed. The moment you direct it at a reflector, you elongate the travel of the light, and this advantage becomes more noticeable. Let's say in virtual production, we're on the way, and we already had pretty good progress in synchronizing the multicolor lights, RGB ACL lights, to the events on the screen without any delay. You pick 8 points or 8 areas, and you assign each of those chosen points or areas to one light or a whole group of lights. Then we equip each of those lights with a special optical device that allows to intensify the light, that allows to light up with great efficiency a group of 4 reflectors, which in turn will then activate another 4. And we do that like a mirror, one 300 watt only, light going one direction, another 300 watt going the other direction. And we have employed now 16 reflectors to light the entire action area, synchronized to the events on the screen for intensity or for color, with the potential of shifting the color, shifting the saturation of the color, and choosing any kind of deviation that you like. On top of that, if in virtual production, the idea can be that you want to bring nature into the studio. Today, we want to shoot the Sahara. Tomorrow, the beach of Rio. If you light that with ARRI 2Ks, it looks like it's lit with ARRI 2Ks. Whilst when you light it with the PB70, the light seemingly comes from outside the studio. And the behavior of the light regarding the distance of the talent, so it's much closer to the perfect illusion of natural light that I call infinity lighting. For all of our focusing lights, not everybody's familiar that I have 50 different focusing lights. We've developed optical attachments that intensify the light. The example is, for example, the 400 watt light, the metal halide light, that has a focus range on its own of 1 to 20. Not many other have ever achieved that. It's only achievable with this triple movement. Yeah, there are
Which you pioneered.
3 movements, all with one button.
So the comparison would be like a 5-to-1 with most lighting fixtures, wouldn't it?
5 to 1, 6 to 1 is what others do. So, okay, in the spot position, you have a 4-degree exit angle. Now we add something that looks like a cooking pot, an optical device, the parallel beam attachment, and again we have 4-degree. So what the hell? But we've gained 500% more light. And the professional will then ask immediately, how many watt does it have now?
So this is with the parallel beam intensifiers.
Yeah. How is this possible? When you go to spot to achieve the narrow beam exit, the light source is at maximum distance from the front lens. With our parallel beam intensifier, we're in full flood, or very close to it. And now I have those for all the 50 different focusing dedolights. Different efficiencies, like on a classic dedolight, it's like a 1 to 4 increase. With the magic is in the different families of Lightstream. I have one family that's called Lightstream Light, where the reflectors are light as a piece of paper.
And you can just literally stick those to the wall with blue tack, can't you?
You can do that, or you can use my magic quintopus. That's a little clamp that has 5 arms, holds 5 reflectors on one stand or one holding device. And now you mount 4 reflectors close to each other to maximize the light efficiency. We'll stick another one in the middle for an accent. And with that, you activate another 4, 5, 6 reflectors and you light the entire scene with one light. Lightstream light is mainly meant for scenic lighting for the smallest team with a minimal effort, and puts us into the absolute lead in ecology. Everybody talks about media ecology, green tech and all that, yeah? But who does it? We are able to use a 40-watt bicolor LED light that the professional laughs about. He says, look, I'm a professional. I cannot be seen with a light like this. I give this to my daughter for a Barbie doll. But you stick that intensifier in the front and you go up 8 times in output, activating the first 5 reflectors, more reflectors. You have a little bag as light as a lady's handbag with 8, 10, 12 reflectors, and you can light the entire scene, including background.
I have to say, my whole lighting philosophy has really been built around your lighting fixtures and this whole idea, as you're saying, of reductive light. So what I try and do now when I'm working in locations is reduce the amount of light there to begin with, and then it allows me to use your precision fixtures. There's a lot of conversation, particularly around virtual production now, talking about color science of light, but there's not a lot of conversation around optics of light. And what I think people don't realize is how you've led the way in lighting optics over the last several decades. And when it comes to replicating the light of the sun, optics are hugely important. And what you've managed to do with the PB70, with the reflector system, with all of your other lights of incredible optics, and all the accessories that you've built around them, like the image intensifier, you've created perfectly controllable hard light, which...
Well, but then there's something that you usually cannot control. When you light a reflector, the beam usually is round. and the reflector is not round. So you have light that goes above, below, left and right of the reflector. Parasitic light. And you can see that in my movie that I call the wayward light, the unruly light that you cannot control. So we developed a system where we can put a black flag directly onto the reflector, still allowing the reflector to be angled any which way you want, but now we eliminate the parasitic light. Now, working with reflectors, often, for example, you do a portrait, and you do the best lighting you can do. And then you go to the medium shot, and the shot is full of reflectors all over. So when you move a light, be it a light emitting or light reflecting surface, further away, it becomes a hard light. Yeah? And that may not be wanted, but you need the space, especially if you shoot with several cameras simultaneously. So what we do is to bridge this, is that we use the same system, the black flag system that's attached to the reflector, and we give it some pants. We pull over it a white, a silver, a gold, or a soft gold surface, and that will enlarge the reflecting surface. Many years ago, we had some soft lights, Panaura, which were flat and people liked it.
I liked them a lot.
But some people came and said, can't you stick a focusing light in the center of it? And I didn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we do now.
Wow. So you have hard and soft light coming from the same source?
We have the reflector in the center, which has different exit angles.
Yeah.
So now we focus in the center from 0 degree, 13, 30, 40, 90 degree, not without steps, not continuously, but in steps. And then we add this additional surface. But there's another aspect to it. Let's say we light with daylight on the reflector. Now the surrounding reflective surface is gold or soft gold. So that can add, at least for one direction of the light, a little warmth to the light. Now our eyes can adjust to any color temperature. The camera can adjust to any color temperature. But lighting people with different color temperatures changes the whole impression, the whole character of that person.
And it's the richness is by combining different colors and hardness and softness, you get a far richer image as well, don't you?
If you want to, and you create different characters.
It's like the variation in nature is being...
If it's the relatively faceless Barbie, it may not be as successful as somebody who has a more distinct face and some lights and some sculpture in the face. And you light that with a different color temperature, it may become much more expressive, much more a different character. And then you add another reflector from below and you give it a warmer. And you fine-tune that. So that gives then different impressions to the skin, chin, eyes, anything, wherever you place that additional reflector with a different color temperature.
So I'd like to say that anyone that's a cinematographer, there's different sensitivities to light. Now, if you just want to bash a panel light through a window and that's, then you want to get more into the camera side of things, fair enough. But if you're into the nuance of lighting, then you really do need to check out everything Dedo's been doing. I love Dedo's range of lights because I love the nuance of lighting. I love combining hard and soft and different color temperatures and having optical purity when it comes to a hard light. creating the impression of sunlight using the virtual lighting distance that Dedo was just talking about. The range of his lights is exceptional. What Dedo's been doing in terms of lighting is really moving things forward, particularly when it comes to the optics, as I mentioned, and this whole Lightstream system, that, as Dedo mentioned, is the most comprehensive system of any reflector system out there at the moment. So I have to thank you for the contribution you've made to my career. It's beyond any expectations I had.
It's just, on one hand, the little kid that I still am, sitting in the sandbox and dreaming, which may be one of the few advantages that we have over the very focused way of working of the Chinese. But at the same time, it's listening to people like you. What do they want? So there's another addition. That is a reflector that's composed of a multitude of small mirrors. We call that E-Flex.
E-Flex system, yeah.
Yeah, and it has small mirrors, large mirrors, different sizes, and you can bend them. And now we also have a new one that's called Zebra.
I haven't seen that one.
That's silver and gold mixed for special effect. And now we have also something that's kind of magic, and we didn't find a real name for it. So it's called tropical blue and tropical orange. But the magic is, you look at this reflective surface with the endless amount of mirrors, what you see is one color, but what it does is other colors. So you go magically through a whole range of color shades.
Is that depending on how it's orientated in relation to the light?
Yeah, and then it has kind of a magic character that can add to it. And also, we've now created the biggest one. It's 80 by 80 centimeters. And if you want to play games, you line up 2 or 3 of them in a row. Don't do anything, just pan the lights across them, and on the wall of the studio, and you take 1 or 2 lights and pan them across, and you can save a lot of money. Where, like Mark Holmes and his wife took a long trip for the first time in their life to experience the aurora borealis. And now you have it in a much more richer choice inside your studio or your home or wherever. So it's a bridge without artificial intelligence, without robots, to create an ever-changing world of colors and shades and
a portal into a magic universe of lighting textures, by the sounds of it. But I can't wait to play with that. Thank you, Dedo. It's been a pleasure as always. And as I say, you've had a huge impact on my career. I can never thank you enough for all the support you give me over the years. And I love using your lighting fixtures. Just
shows that you had parents who gave you very beautiful education. But you that's such wonderful compliments.
I got exquisite taste. That's what it is. So thank you for, as always, an absolute pleasure. Yeah.